Paul, difficult night for your team ultimately with the scoreline. What's your reaction?
I think with the scoreline, in terms of the game overall, I thought the lads performed pretty well. That's my honest opinion. I think we were on top of the game first half, then go behind to a soft goal in terms of thrown in there. Leo jumped for header. I think he gets a little nudge. I'm not saying it's a free kick, but I think that nudge just does enough to make him not edit as he would like. And they pick up the second ball, and it's a good finish, but frustrating on our part. Second half, knew they'd improved to a degree. But still thought we played some good football. But it has to be that end product, and I think too many times that quality that you're asking for in terms of, certainly I would say, delivery, just wasn't quite there. Couldn't force anything from our own corners, etc. And I think the free kick at the end was, that kind of epitomised the difference in terms of we put a ball in there and we make it so they don't win a header, but it just runs through, and we've got to have a more of a forward thinking, a more positive outlook in their box in terms of trying to get on the end of things, whoever it is up there. And I don't care whether it's someone that's as tallest player or a smallest player. If you want to go and get on the end of it, it didn't need to be a header. It just needed to be getting to the ball first, and ultimately that's been the difference. We've heard it many times before. I'm sure everyone has. What happens in both boxes ultimately defines it. I think a lot in between, we've done pretty well. It's a totally different sort of style than when we first came in, but ultimately, the game is about results, and at the minute we can't pick up enough positive ones.
Your team did have some good moments in that first half. Tom Bloxham was lively on the right. How deflating is it though when you fall behind? The manner of the goal when your team were playing some good stuff in that first half, and you can see 2 minutes away from the interval. Yeah,
I mean that's how the dressing room felt, and kind of said to them, don't be feeling sorry for yourself. We still got a half of football to try and change that, and also take some positives for how you've played for large parts of that first half. I think it was Leo's chance. I think it's a great block from Hurst, I think, when it looked like we were going to go in front. But again, that's an example of, and I'm not saying we haven't done some good defending at times, but an example of really something that probably or potentially makes a difference on the night with that kind of block. Perhaps gets a little bit fortunate in terms of it looping over the bar. So yeah, the lads are going to be a little bit down, but like I said, at the same time they've got another 45 plus minutes to try and resurrect that.
How difficult is it as a manager, head coach, making those changes second half when you do it? Because you left it for a little while in that second half before you turned to the bench.
Yeah, I thought we were, like I said, I thought we played well first half, and second half they had a little spell, and I thought we'd come through that, and then we're on top of the game. So that's why you don't make the changes. I think it's very easy when results don't go the way that you want to call for it. In the end, we perhaps concede that second goal because of changes that are made. But at that stage, you kind of just think, well, you might as well just go for it. You might as well lose 2 rather than 1, or ideally not. But we ended up with Charles sort of as a left wing back, realistically. Tommy's on there, 2 centre forwards on there. But yeah, we couldn't force at least an equaliser. Yeah,
found it really hard to work their goalkeeper again throughout the 90 minutes. Is that becoming a bit of a concern?
Not overly. I want us to obviously have more attempts at goal if we can. But I think if you looked at their defensive record, they haven't given up too much. I know they Orient scored 4. Take that, but in general, if you look at the statistics that over their games, they've been strong defensively. Tonight they were, but like I said, I think we get into good positions, and then it's that, like I said, the quality. Now, that's easy to stand here and say. Players have to try and produce that, but there's also an element of, they bring in on Louis Barry, they bring in on Kyle Wotton. And that's no offence to our players and the squad we have, but I think has to be and I think there is in a lot of places an understanding. So we got to keep working, and the players are doing. I think tonight, like I said, I'm not going to stand here and make something up and criticise them and say they didn't try or they were really poor, because I honestly don't think that was the case. But there's no doubt we come out on the wrong side of the result. And the important parts that matter. Yes, I would love us to be peppering their goalkeeper. I think, as I said, we did quite a lot of good things, but that end bit wasn't there.
The results are obviously disappointing. 7 defeats out of 9 now in the league. That the fans, you can sense frustration around the ground. Have you got a message for the fans as such, to, the way it's going with the results in particular?
I think I can with some. I think with others, like I said, I honestly believe there's an understanding. Now, I'm not going to start going into details or anything like that, but I think we knew at the start of the season the challenge ahead. That doesn't change. It hasn't changed. All I think it's doing is emphasising that challenge at this moment in time. I would probably suggest for those that are really frustrated and maybe think that we're going to come here and just roll Stockport over is, try and do a bit of research, a little bit of fact finding. I think you only have to look at the table in general. If you've got, I think Huddersfield, Rotherham, and then one more big teams in the lower half of the table. Early days, admittedly, and they'll want to climb it. I've said how strong the league is. A lot of people are telling me that think that they've watched us, think we're playing pretty well, and that ultimately we've had a tough start. But there's not many easy games in this league. I've said that from the off. So all I'm going to do is keep working with the players. We ask the fans to stick with us, and I think, as I've always said here, I think they're one of the best sort of fans in terms of getting behind the players, not just throwing negativity at them. And all I can promise is we'll keep working hard to get the results that we all want. But I would add, we all know that's not going to be easy.